Ain't no sunshine when the Bills lose. Ain't no sunshine when they lose. This house just ain't no home every time the Bills lose. And whip on, 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 whip on. Welcome to another episode of Vivalosbills. On a sad note, we're coming to you this week live on I-95 Sports Network, on Facebook, and what's it called? Ziggo TV, channel 198. As always, Will Cologne, Buffalo Will, and everybody's favorite cousin Vinny. How you doing, bud?
So it's not too good, man. Not too good.
Me neither. Me neither.
Not too good.
We're gonna get into this past week, playing with all this craziness. We ended up getting the big W, the loss. So there's going to be no beers. I'm stuck with some orange Gatorade today.
I got water.
We got some nice H2O. I mean, I guess we'll get going. Uh, we got to make sure we cut it at an hour. Vinny's a truck driver, man, and he has to hit the road early, so we got no time to be messing around, even though we don't have a Thursday night game today. But here we go. I'm going to skip the first recap of this Bills-Titans game because I don't want to get that upset yet. So let's go through.
You gotta work your way into getting upset.
Yeah. One thing in the news: there's going to be no Pro Bowl this year. No surprise with the whole COVID thing. Another thing, talking about COVID: 20 players, I believe, right, from the 21 players from the Florida Gators tested positive for COVID-19. This is all coming after head coach, what's his name, Dan Mullen, wanted 90,000 fans in the stands. So who knows how many fans have got COVID that been to some of these games, and now they wanted 90,000. Yeah,
that's put a hold on that. Absolutely.
That's the universe saying, slow down, slow down. So
you're going way back with the brand Nubians.
That's right. See, I knew you know. All the old heads know what that is.
Oh yeah, that's what's up.
Let me see. Cam Newton and actually Stephon Gilmore were added or taken off the COVID-19 list. So, hey, they might be playing against Denver this week. That's there. Earlier in the news, where is this thing? Hold on. I got so many crazy things. I can't even know. This clown, so he was released the other day. We all saw that. They released him. Then today he said, hey, I'm down to 3 teams. Kansas City, Miami, and the Buffalo Bills. So not too long ago, what happened? This clown picked the Kansas City Chiefs. No surprise there. I mean, if he went to the Dolphins, he was going to be on a 3 running back rotation. He doesn't want that. If he goes to Kansas City, he's only sitting behind one guy because Williams has been on like in the doghouse ever since he said he wanted more money. He was trying to sit out. So now it'll be him and the rookie. If he went to the Bills, he would have had a 3-man rotation again with Singletary, Moss, and him. And I guess he didn't want that. Plus, rumor was he was looking for some cash. He wanted money on top of the money he was already getting from the Jets. So good for him. I mean, he has a chance to get to a possible Super Bowl. Whatever. It's not with him. So whatever.
I wish him
that bump.
I wish him well, but I don't think he would have been a good fit in Buffalo. Everybody, I've been going on all social media, and a lot of people like, oh, let's bring him in. Granted, our rush offense is really struggling. I mean, we're not doing too good. This past game that we just had against the Titans, I personally thought that would have been a breakout game for Singletary, being that Titans are really weak on the run defense. I think they were ranked 30th or 31st on run defense. But we're just struggling right now. So I'm seeing everybody commenting like, yeah, bring Bell back, bring Bell. But no, man, McDermott and B know what they're doing. We got to trust the process. I mean, I'm glad we didn't get him, to be honest with you personally.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't have minded him on the team. He's a big.
If he was cheap, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have taken him, but hey, he chose to go to Kansas City. Good for him. I think he'll do a lot better than what he did in New York. They have a better offensive line. They just have so many weapons. You just don't have to key on him like you did in New York. My thing is, did the Jets even try to trade him? Like, you telling me you couldn't get a trade partner, maybe because of his salary? But if you were going to eat some of that, I don't know. It's just weird. They just cut him. They said good riddance.
It was just ugly. It's an ugly situation over there. I think he was liking some tweets that were said about him.
Yep.
Like, and Adam Gase was talking about, hey man, if you don't like it, just stick your chest out and say it in my face. So there's a little bit of animosity there. So I think, they kind of went towards Gase's side and released Bell. I personally would have thought, like you, that they had till the 29th. I believe the 29th is a trade deadline, and try
Yeah.
to get something for him.
Even if you got to pick, who cares? If you're going to
Something.
get rid of them, get something.
Yeah.
I guess they couldn't. Maybe they didn't have any takers. Who knows? We're not there. So whatever. I would have tried to get something. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. Who knows? Another thing, Melvin Gordon of the Denver Broncos was a player I actually wanted the Bills to get during the offseason and get him. He was just charged with a DUI, and he had a ticket for driving over 25 miles an hour over the speed limit. His hearing, actually, this was Tuesday night. He was probably upset that the Bills lost two. Not that is that is a joking matter.
Oh man.
But his arraignment is actually set for November 13th, but they took a blood test, so they're trying to see how that comes back. They're waiting. So the head coaching staff over there is waiting to see what happens. If he even plays this week, we don't know yet. I mean, that's another thing. Here we go again. Michael Thomas, who's been out, he was fined $59,000 for a practice altercation. Pretty much, somebody reported that he punched the safety, Chauncey Garnon-Johnson. So we don't know, because he's on my fantasy team. I don't know if it was his high ankle that kept him out or if it was this altercation that kept him out. Anyway, New Orleans, also on that New Orleans, they will be hosting the 2025 Super Bowl down there. And for the 2024 Super Bowl, they're not sure where it's going to be yet. But that's some news there. It's kind of cool. They're going to have the thing. Michael Thomas throwing punches, needs to relax. On the big note here, anyway, before we go this whole thing, we start going to the Bills-Titans recap. Roger Goodell on the Titan investigation, his comment was, it's not about discipline, because everybody thought something was going to come down, like he was going to come down with a hammer, but that didn't happen. It's not about discipline, but rather making sure we're keeping our personnel safe. So the Titans won't be facing pretty much a penalty at all, it seems. And on that note, what happens today? The Atlanta Falcons, I think they had two players test positive.
Shut it down.
Marlon Davidson on reserve COVID list and had to shut down their facilities, or they were working from home or whatever, waiting to see if they had some false positives. And then later on, I believe Raheem Morris tested positive today. But if Roger Goodell stands by his standards, all the Falcons have to do is go find your local college where they're not
go practice.
Or go to your local high school where there's nobody there and go practice. Yeah. It's okay. Even though they tell you to stay home and don't practice, it's okay.
You're not going to get penalized for it. You'll be all right. And if you get caught, they'll just push the game back a couple of days. You'll be all right. Have more time to prepare.
So on that note, I guess we're going to start recapping the Titan game, okay? Because everybody was saying there was a possible, forfeit. I didn't think that was going to happen. I didn't really want that to happen for the simple fact, because let's say the Bills got that win. Everybody's going to say, well, you guys didn't play the Titans and so forth. Titans and Bills always play a tough game. So I didn't want that. I wanted to see them play. But on that note, what the hell happened to our team? And another thing is, if you watch that game, there is no way anybody could tell me that team did not practice. The Bills look like they were on quarantine for weeks. My first note was, well, besides no Milano, I didn't know Trey White wasn't going to play. I was like, wow, that surprised me. John Brown was, his decision too. Maybe the Bills were like, hey, they haven't played in 2 weeks. We should be okay. Let's go from there and so forth. But that didn't happen. If you watch that game, those Titan players, I did not see anybody win. For not practicing in 2 weeks, supposedly not practicing in 2 weeks, nobody was winning it. I mean, Clowney came out a few plays but again, that's your defensive lineman. They come out and go. It happens. Yeah. AJ Brown came out a few plays. You're a receiver. You're supposed to be running full sprint every down pretty much. You take a few downs off. But nobody on that team looked like they had any rust. Okay.
If you were to look at the game and not know which team was under COVID protocol or that couldn't practice, your first assumption would be it was the Buffalo Bills, the way they played. It was just from
Yeah.
top to bottom, special teams, especially defensively. I mean, we're gonna get into it, but I mean, there was no pass rush. The defense was just as bad as it was. And I had the last time I had a feeling of a game like this, where it was last year, where I believe we were 5-1, and Philly came and put a whipping on us. I think it was like 31-13 or something like that. That's the last time I felt the way I felt in the Titans game.
They smacked
They
us
spanked.
up.
They smacked us up pretty bad. So it brought us kind of reality, because we were 5-1 in that point, and they were 4-3. So I think they wound up going 4-4, and we were 5. That put us at 5-2 or whatever it was. But that's the same feel I had. It's kind of like, as soon as that first Josh interception, where the ball was tipped, or not tipped, when he didn't catch it.
It was thrown behind him and went off his hands.
It was, but be honest with you, John Brown would have caught that. I mean, it was pretty. It was behind him, but still catchable.
So let's get into this game. It was horrible.
Go ahead, man.
It got postponed till Tuesday. The Bills, I don't want to make excuses for it. They were preparing for, hey, you might play the Titans. Hey, you might be playing Kansas City. Hey, we don't know what's going to happen. You might not even play Tennessee. You don't play Tennessee. You're going back to Thursday to the Kansas City Chiefs. You can't make excuses. Fine. Even McDermott said we were prepared. We knew what was coming, and we should have played better. So many penalties. Like, it was ridiculous.
10 penalties. Before nine pre-snap penalties.
How many jump off sides? Some of the penalties to me were a little questionable, but we'll get into that. All right, Gabriel Davis got his first start because Smoke was out. My first thing, oh my God, I'm watching. I'm like, all right, that pass to Andre Roberts. Yes, it was behind him. It hit his hands. Would have been a tough catch. Yes, very tough catch. Now, my thing is, if you're not going to catch that ball, let it go through your hands, because most of the times, if you do tip it like that, tip drills. You did that since grammar school. Tip drills.
Oh, yeah.
Catch the ball. Usually ends up in a pick. What did it do? Ended up in a pick. What happened 2 plays later? Touchdown. First of all, I'm like, why is Andre in there? I didn't even know that Smoke wasn't playing. And then I'm like, okay, Andre Roberts is in there, fine. Why isn't McKenzie doing this? Don't get me wrong. I like Andre Roberts. He's a good special teamer. I would have cut him if I could have trained him.
He even messed up our special teams, though. I mean, he cost us literally 14. He literally cost us 14 points in this game.
Yeah, I didn't even want to get to that one yet. But dude, I hate when you have a receiver or let's say a special teamer and he's not really going out there and running routes. It's like you have you're taking up one spot to catch punts and kickoffs. It drives me crazy. All right, he was in there. He did have that one nice catch on the sideline to make up for it. But 7 points, first down, a little outweighs. So, all right, let's go. Here we go. Andre Roberts drops the pass. I mean, it was behind, I'm sure. He had the nice catch on third down. A.J. Brown, the TD against Norman. My goodness. I like Norman. And after that stiff arm, Norman got fired up, and he was playing some good ball. But you could see Josh Norman is not a number 1 corner anymore. I love the guy.
No.
I mean, wrong. He's a number 2.
He never was no number 1 corner. I mean, but it is a tough role to fill in when Trey was gone. Now he had to step up and get AJ. That's kind of a tough position to put him in. But you got to do. I mean, the Titans were shorthanded too. I mean, who they were missing? They were missing a whole bunch of. They were missing Jeffrey Simmons, Adoree Jackson, Christian Fulton. They were shorthanded too. So there's no excuse like, hey, we were shorthanded, this and that. Yeah. It just there's no excuse for this game on what happened.
Next man up. That's it. I mean, how was it in Tennessee? Because looking at Josh Allen, he was sweating from the beginning. I'm like,
everybody was sweating. I don't know what the heck it was. I was thinking the same thing. I saw Motor. They flashed the camera on Motor, and he was like drenched. I'm like, wow, is it that warm over there? Because I'm in Florida, and it was 70 degrees, but they're up there in Nashville. It's got to be a little bit cooler.
And I didn't bother you this game, really. I mean, Kyle and I were going back and forth. But
I'm glad you didn't bother me because I would have answered you.
I was like, what the hell's wrong with Josh Allen? The guy looks like he's in like Tampa Bay or something, sweating. He was off. He didn't look good. He just looked off from the beginning. In the first quarter, he looked like he should have looked in the fourth quarter. And the Tennessee players were just like, whatever, I'm cool to go. So I know that they had 2 weeks to rest. They had 2 weeks to prepare for the Bills.
16 days.
They knew they were playing the Bills. It didn't matter. Okay, if they forfeited the game, then they would have to wait to the following Sunday. So they had that whole week anyway to prepare for the following team. So you had 16 days, like you said, to prepare for the Bills. All right. I mean, McKenzie, I love McKenzie, had the nice little sweep for the touchdown. Dawson Knox had a nice, I believe it was Knox, nice cutback block that freed him up, plus his speed. We got to start doing something more with McKenzie than this stupid sweep. All right, I love the sweep.
It's coming. It's coming once he's in there.
If you do, he's always running. Again, like last week I said, throwing him to the flat, do something with it. They did give it to him once. They do that thing all the time, and eventually, you got to practice. But the players are like, okay, that shit's not coming. It's not coming. And then eventually you get one. But come on, you're not fooling nobody really with it. What beat him was his speed and a nice block by Knox that freed him up.
Yep.
Fun. Good punt, bad punt coverage. What was up with that punt coverage, man? Oh, my goodness. He had a very nice punt, but our coverage
70-yarder.
And
Harkins hit like a 70-yard punt. I mean, he put us from our 10 and wound up putting them over there at their 10, which was great. Because this field position, I think we're averaging about, in this game, we're averaging about the 15, 17. They were at the, 45, 50. So they had the advantage right there. They had the field advantage the whole game.
I tried to, what was it? I think there was a block in the back, but okay, they didn't call it. It was like borderline. Whatever, you don't get it. You still have to cover better than that. Yeah. And I mean, the first quarter, our defense contained Henry. It was pretty good. He wasn't getting no yards really, but eventually, they start tiring out. Jerron Johnson, my goodness, dude, they were just pushing him off. When you get that first push, it was like, boom, get off me. And, catch after catch. AJ Brown pushed him off like nothing. The one play was like, get off me, boy. And caught the pass. And I said it last week and the week before that, dude, these drag routes and these quick slants are
killing us
up. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to go man, fine. Drop the middle linebacker into the middle position.
Well, Milano ain't there. Milano's not there.
Yeah, I know, but you have Tremaine. Tremaine's your middle linebacker.
Tremaine's been playing hurt. Yeah. Reports I've seen is that he's been hurt. He's been nursing a shoulder injury. So, he's out there. You got to give him props. But, man.
Yeah, but you could drop back. Just drop back. But they're not doing it. Play if you want to play like your zone, fine, but drop back a little. Hopefully, you could block one in the middle, or just try to force them to do something. Those drag routes have been killing us, and if we can't get that straight, they're gonna have a long time against Kansas City this week. Good Lord, Henry, the way he tossed to Josh Norman.
Man, there's memes all over the place, bro. Oh my gosh.
How tall is Henry? Is Henry 6'3" or 6'5"?
He's a big guy. No, I think he's like 6'2".
Okay, let's say I think they said 6'3". Okay, let's say 6'2". Okay. 6'2", 250 pounds. Okay.
Go to his ankles. Take his legs out. Go low.
Anywhere from his waist down. Waist
low.
Down. Why do you try to grab him up here, Henry? I mean, Norman, you're not that strong, bro. He just lifted him up like nothing. You're trying to. He's a brick house. That guy. Waist down.
Man, I've been following Travis Henry since he lived up here in Yulee, a couple miles north of where I live. Mm-hmm. And I went to a couple games, and the guy was like that amongst children. I mean, I think he has a national high school rushing title. He would just run people over. People would try to go high on him like that. And there's nothing. It's nothing new with the guy. The guy. No. I mean, once I saw that replay again, I was thinking, Josh, that guy is a beast. He should have seen how he did in Alabama. He should have seen how he's done. There's a whole bunch of that. What happened to Josh is the equivalent of me getting dunked on by Michael Jordan as a poster child. That's kind of like, I mean, they got memes everywhere. They got him falling off the roof. They got him sliding into third base. I don't know if you've seen any of those memes or whatever, but man, it's pretty bad. And then I'm getting flack because people have heard this show and I've given, Josh Norman his props. That I'm glad he came from Washington. He's going to fit in. He's going to do this and that. So I've got like 3 or 4 texts from friends of mine. It's like, hey, how's your boy Josh? But like you said, he kind of messed up. But after that, he was a little fired up. I mean, I think the next play he got on the tackle. with Henry, and then he
After
started doing a little bit better.
After that, he was on point. I mean, he
Yeah.
was. And then they called pass interference on him against that one play against AJ Brown.
Yeah.
I think it was
Yeah.
a bad call. They
That was
both
horrible. Yeah.
AJ went down to his knee, and because he
That's
went down
what.
to
Yeah.
his knee, that's why he got the call. It was
Yep.
nothing there. It was bad. The one touchdown that was thrown to Gabriel Davis, then they said the offensive tackle, I believe, was lined up wrong. But if you watch it, even that clown, Jay Feely, by the way, he said, where was it? I didn't see it. You didn't see it,
I didn't see it. Yeah.
he seemed to be, I think, a little too far or something. It just looked where he was set. It didn't look like he was set, and that was it because there was nothing. Nobody moved.
Are you talking about the illegal shift penalty?
Yeah, that negated.
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't there. That was a bunch of BS for that.
Yeah.
Like I said, Norman, the first half, okay. But my thing is, dude, we talked about our depth. Depth is great. They're doing rotating. They're rotating these guys in. Where's the pressure? Where is the pressure from our freaking defensive linemen? Where is it? Where's Murphy? Where's what's his name? Hughes, Jerry? Besides Addison, I gotta look up the numbers, but
I think the only person I got behind there was AJ Epinesa for a loss on a running back in one play that I remember. I don't remember seeing any pressure though.
It was
it was non-existent, bro. No pressure to the quarterback.
No, what did I say last week? They took straight lines on an angle. What did they do? Bounced out. They kept bouncing out. You got to contain inside. It's basic football.
We had no pass rush.
Low level. They taught us this in high school and grammar school. Force inside.
No pass rush. Will, there was no pass rush. No pass rush. And worse yet, there was no contain. Tannehill, of all people, was running all over us. It was embarrassing when he ran those touchdowns, and there was nobody within 10, 15 yards of him. I was sick to my stomach, bro. I ain't even gonna lie.
When he jumped up and did the little finger roll, I was like,
I thought he was gonna pop his knee out of place.
Oh, his ankle. I was like, all right. I thought he bet his ankle. I was like, oh, he's gonna sprain his ankle. But it didn't happen.
He did land up. But I thought he was doing it on purpose, and when they did it in slow motion, I was like, man, he's lucky he didn't pop nothing.
Yeah, he's lucky. Anyway, we could not contain. My goodness, drove me nuts. And I want to ask the NFL a question. Why is it okay for a receiver to push off way past 5 yards down the field to get separation, but if a defender does it, God forbid, it's a pass interference call? Mm-hmm. Like the offensive player, half the time when they break off, they push. They push. Everybody does it. No call. Josh Norman barely touched this guy, a call. That's not right. I mean, I used to play defense, so I'm a little more biased to that, but you see it all the time. Receivers run up 5, 10 yards, whatever, push off, turn around, get the ball, no call. Unless it's blatant that the poor guy falls, no call. Receiver, ever. Drives me nuts. Another thing is, why isn't Serene Neal playing? Why isn't this guy playing some cornerback? He played corner last year. I know they have him as safety or backup free safety, whatever. Why is he not playing corner? Our guys are getting toasted.
They got Cam in there.
This guy is a beast, dude. He was, look at it. I know it's practice, but he was going off in practice. Last year, he was playing well. If your corners are struggling, man, bring this kid in. Let him play, man. It's driving me nuts. What was another thing? Allen thinking when he threw that pass to Davis where it was straight to the corner. The corner was there. I mean, at one point,
that had to have been a miscommunication, bro. That had to have been.
At one point, if you looked at, I don't know if it was Cole Beasley or somebody was there, right? And they blocked that corner. So maybe he just saw Davis and didn't see the corner. He was right behind him. But still, you got to know better, man. That was a bad pick. Again, Josh, what he has to do is like, my goodness, he has guys open 3-4 yards down. Take the 3 or 4 yards. Stop looking for a first down every play. Everything's not going to be more than 10 yards. Do you have any info? I thought we signed somebody for the practice squad this week. Yeah, I have that on here. I'll get to that in 2 seconds too. He's Pitts. He was on the Bills a while back, and they brought him back.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Corner.
Now, because I was being that we were touching up on the cornerbacks right now, but man, good news is Trey White came back to practice, limited. Yeah, so all the guys, we'll do the injury report later on. But hopefully we get everybody back for this KC game, because another thing that get into the KC game, I got people telling me, oh, we beat the Raiders and the Raiders beat the Chiefs, so therefore we automatically. People don't understand. It's all about matchups, man. It's all about matchups. I don't even look at that. It's how you match up with the team in front of you.
Yeah, and you know what? We didn't play the Raiders with Ruggs, or what was it, their other receiver, Edwards, who were their starting two receivers. So you can't say that. I mean, if the tight end, what was it, Waller or whatever his name, would have caught the one pass, it might have been a whole different game.
Yep.
Another thing Josh does, I like it, and they do it every week, it seems, trying to get these guys to jump off, right? Hard counts. Fine. But when you get the defender to jump off sides, call that next hike real fast. Snap it. Don't let them jump back and set up. It was at least 2 times. 2 times that happened. Dude, get those free plays. Drove me crazy too. The pass to TJ Yeldon, another thing, like I'm saying.
I can't believe he threw it to him. I was like, I didn't know TJ Yeldon had hands like that. That was, I mean.
Well, that's the thing. He could catch and run, which is great. That ball should have been thrown 2 seconds earlier. Luckily.
Yeah, that was what, a 25-yard, 30-yard? That was a bullet he threw to him. I mean, I was like, who the heck was that? When they said TJ Yeldon, I was like, that was a great catch.
But if you saw that play, Cole Beasley was open down below.
Yeah.
Looking off, because that's what he's doing. He keeps looking down the field and forgetting the guys underneath.
The checkdowns, yeah.
Checkdowns. Even if it's 4 yards, even if 5 yards, take it. He's lucky that he has that freaking cannon, because the corner is baiting him. He's like, oh, I could cover that. I could cover that. He wasn't counting on Allen's cannon. If Allen didn't have that cannon, and if it was somebody, it would have been picked off.
Yeah.
It was a great catch by him. Ballsy throw by Allen. But if he would have thrown it 2 seconds earlier,
Yeldon
was by
himself. Would have been picked.
No.
He was by himself. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, if you look at the game, there was a couple plays that Diggs was literally double, triple covered, and Josh still tried to force the ball in there. It was driving me bananas, bro. I was like, and if you see their defense, the way they were playing, it was like almost like a nickel pre. I don't know what the heck they were running. It was really soft. And I was like, oh, we're going to eat them up with the run. Now, I don't know what happened. I think I don't know if you have the numbers in front of you. I think Singletary had like 19 yards or something like that. I'll pull up the numbers right now while you're at it. But, man, it was just – I thought we were going to be able to run. If any game that we would have been able to run, I thought that game would have been it. And
I partially think the Bills thought these guys were going to be soft or not as strong.
11. I got the stats right here. Singletary had 11 carries for 25 yards, and TJ Yeldon had 5 for 14. That's pathetic. That's pathetic. So now you get these fans like, oh, bring Bell in, bring Bell. We could use this. I mean, come on, man. I mean,
another thing. What was that call for the 2-point conversion?
To bring it down to 10. Well, they wanted to bring it to 10. Oh, you're talking about the call.
I don't mind that. Okay. I mean, the play was bad. Almost like you just dragged everybody to the right. And then another thing, listen, I understand Davis is a rookie. He does almost everything great. The kid just stood there. He knew they were going to the right, but when the play was, everybody was covered, break off, go into the end zone. Yeah. Just try to find a spot or something. He just stood there, and he was just
that's the chemistry. That's the chemistry Josh Allen's talking about with Diggs. How many times have you seen some plays that are busted? So when Josh rolls to his right, now Diggs just breaks off his route and finds and goes, gives him a lane to throw in. That's why Josh said he likes playing with Diggs. Cole does the same thing.
And so does Brown.
He does the same exact thing. But that comes with time. That comes with experience with Gabriel Davis, just like Epinesa. I'm a big Epinesa guy. When it was a critical play, he jumped off sides. You know what I mean? And it was an important play right there. I was like, oh, man, what'd they do? Took him right out.
Yeah, 37, and then they showed me
third down.
Get him.
Yep.
At that point, I would have said, you know what? Just leave him. Just leave them. We were done. We weren't doing anything. At that point, take out my starters. Let these other guys play. We're not doing crap. Nothing's going good at all. What was it? Let's see. Davis needed to break off, like I said. Over again, I watched the Bills not contain people. It was just bad. Andre Roberts, really, what was that? A kickoff, right? Or was it a punt? It was a kickoff.
It was a kickoff,
And he goes
fumble.
and fumbles the ball again. I mean, the front eight was driving me crazy. Listening to Jay Feely and everybody saying all this Titan teams overcoming such adversity. What adversity?
Yeah,
Saying, oh, they didn't practice in 2 weeks. Nobody mentioned that they were caught on camera practicing the whole offense.
yeah,
12
yeah,
players. Stop your crap. Call it as it is. I understand the NFL is probably like, hey, don't bring it up. Don't talk about it. Just talk
yeah.
about the game. Don't even say anything like that. It was driving me nuts. Adversity. They didn't break protocol. Come on, man.
Hey, the only thing I could think of that the Bills didn't want to tackle this game is because they didn't want to catch any COVID. Hey, I'm gonna stick with that. Maybe that's why Trey didn't want to play.
And that's
maybe
why
Trey didn't play.
Maybe they so much because of that.
Hey, remember Trey had almost opted out for the season? I'd rather him miss this game. He probably missed the game because of that. Who knows? We don't really know the truth,
Well,
he might out, but I'd rather have him miss the game than the whole season opting out.
But the problem is, you know what? Okay, he didn't play. He still was there, right? Then he go with the team, and not even that. He's with the team.
He got backgrounds. Yeah.
He's with the team. If anybody has it, he's gonna get it. All right, some Bills news. Like you said, cornerback Lafayette Pitts has been signed to the Bills practice squad. They had to do something, man. I don't know. I'm just watching it, and we think these guys, like you said, and we both said, one injury could mess up your whole squad. Matt Milano not being there. This just shows you pay the guy some money. The only concern with Matt Milano is he gets hurt every year.
He does.
Look at White not being there, hurt. Levi Wallace not being there, hurt. Even if you had Levi, then okay, Norman could be the 1 or 2, and vice versa. Tyron, he's more of a nickel guy. Whatever, it hurt.
The only bright spot was our safeties, man. Poyer and Hyde did pretty good, in my opinion. I thought they did all right.
They were busy. Pitts is actually coming back to Buffalo. He was claimed. The Bills claimed him actually off waivers back in October 25th, 2017. Then re-signed to a 1-year deal in 2018 and again in 2019. Spent 2019 and 2020 with the Colts. So he's back. They know him. I guess they like him. Leslie Frazier, our defense right now is ranked 17th in the league from 2nd last year. McDermott says he has confidence in him, that he's been calling the plays since, he's been here. My thing is, what drove me crazy again, a lot of nickel defense. You see the Titans running an I formation. Why are you in nickel?
Still in nickel, yeah.
Our corners can't stick them with our safeties and that. Okay, what a free safety on your tight end or your strong safety on your tight end. All right, corner and corner on your receiver. Now you got to cover a fullback and a running back. Why are you running nickel? You got your linebackers. Use them, man. AJ Klein. Okay, he's not that great in coverage, it seems. He could stop.
He made a great tackle. I seen him. He made a great tackle on the sideline. But but he wasn't really, I expected more from him, to be honest with you.
I thought there was a lot more. This year we're running this nickel and it's driving me crazy. I understand if you're going 4 wide receiver set, you're going 5 wide receiver set. Yeah, you need these guys out there. But if you're not doing that, if you see a guy's running a freaking nickel, an I formation, no reason to have nickel. None whatsoever. Him and McDermott need to sit down and figure something out. If you're going to play, a lot of play, like I said, are doing this drag route. Okay, I know slants is pretty hard to cover, but you got to time it. You move up. You get closer. You can't give them that cushion. Man, they were watching the one play. I'm like, okay, there goes I think it was A.J. Brown or the tight end just running on a drag. I'm like, he's going to throw it to him. Boom.
AJ killed us when it was important. We were going to make that stop on 3rd and I think 7, and he killed us with a quick slant.
Mm-hmm.
Quick slant, just like you said.
Slants all over. Good news today was Levi Wallace was working on the sideline with the strength and conditioning staff running like the ladder and other foot drills. That's great to hear. Trey was out there. Quentin Spann was out there. Zach was out there. Matt was out there, even though, and Smoke was out there practicing today, even though it was no helmet, no pads, but at least they were out there getting in some work. Absolutely. Even Feliciano was out there having fun.
Wow.
Hey,
real quick, I just want to add, I know we're moving away from the Titans game and everything, But I just want to add that the NFL, I don't know whether to call them a joke or I don't want to be insulting. But listen, man, these guys, that team put the NFL at risk, all the teams at risk. They didn't get punished. They actually got rewarded with a game, a primetime game, and essentially a bye week. So they got kind of rewarded. I mean, what kind of, repercussions did they get? They got a national primetime game and pretty much a bye. So I don't know what the NFL got to do something better. They got to come up better because they put the whole NFL at risk.
Well, that's one thing. I was watching this game and I said, you know what? I want to go to like FanDuel or whatever these places are and put $100 on the Tennessee Titans to win the Super Bowl because it seems like they're the NFL's baby.
Adversity.
The adversity. No fines.
Yeah,
you fine 5 head coaches $100,000 for wearing their masks like this.
Yeah.
But this team that you told to stay home, not practice, and they went out and there was footage of them practicing. I guess it just came down, you know what? Kind of like the offseason before. Okay, nobody over 10 players, but yet they had 12 players supposedly at one spot. Regardless, I guess as long as you're practicing, this is what I'm telling the Atlanta Falcons, who need some practice anyway. As long as you're practicing outside of the facility, facility, on your own without your coaches, it's okay. I guess the coaches can't be there. And as long as your defensive squad is practiced somewhere else, at least 10 to 12 people, maybe that's safe, and your offensive squad is practicing somewhere else, it's okay. Because you cannot tell me, like I said, those guys didn't practice. No way in hell. They just stayed home.
They were on point. Tannehill looked like a Super Bowl contender, man. He looked good.
He didn't break a sweat. And I like Tannehill. No disrespect to Tannehill. I like him. And if he has weapons, he can eat you up. People out there hate him, thinks he's not a good quarterback. I like him. I think he's a good quarterback as long as he has weapons. They need to do something. Our defensive tackles, where are they? Second half, first half.
Ed Oliver, man, quiet. Jeez.
Ed Oliver, to me, I look at him, he's a defensive end.
Yeah.
All right. That's to me. I mean, he's big. Maybe he's not as fast as Hughes or these guys, but to me, he's a defensive end. Okay, Phillips, he's more of a defensive tackle, yes, but he's still kind of small. We're getting pushed around. I'm looking out there who's the best defensive tackles available. The only guy I could see that would fit my what I would like is Marcel Darius. He's the only guy at 30 years old. He's a big body who sits in there. And if he's healthy and if he's in athletic shape, go get this guy for a year, man. Bring him in. Try to plug that middle. We're getting eaten up.
Yeah.
It's not good.
We definitely need a pass rush. I don't think we got any sacks this game. I think we got maybe 1 or 2 hurries on them, or
some pressures, but I don't think they sacked them.
1 or 2 pressures. Yeah, no sacks. I didn't see a sack. If maybe you could remind me, but I don't remember seeing any sacks at all that game. But that was definitely one of my highlight things that I highlighted was the pass rush. It was not there. No pass rush. Tannehill had enough time, and then to top it off, there was no contain either. So there was 2 bleeps right there. No pass rush and then no contain. I mean, what the heck? These, like you said, these guys, the front 4 just getting pushed around, man. They're getting bullied, and I want to see how McDermott does with these guys this week and how they do against the Chiefs.
Listen, if they're not going to get a rush on this guy, they're going to get eaten. Okay,
you're going to get picked apart.
If they take the same straight angles and not containment, like go onside, this kid is just going to break out and run on us.
Oh, yeah.
With all the weapons he has, we need White back. We need our corners to be there.
Yeah,
if we're going to get eaten up.
He'll eat us up. Cam Newton's going to eat us up. I mean, we got a couple running quarterbacks here that we're going to play, and they're just going to.
Tannehill had 4 carries for 42 yards.
Look at that.
And a touchdown.
He had more rushing yards than both our running backs combined. That's pathetic, man.
No. TJ Yeldon.
Yeah, we had 25 and 11. Did he? I thought TJ Yeldon had 11 yards. Are you sure?
I'm looking at ESPN box score. Yeldon had 7 carries for 52 yards. He averaged 7.4 yards a carry. Tannehill averaged 10.5 yards a carry. And Derrick Henry had 19 carries for 57 yards,
Yeah,
averaging
but let me tell
3
you
yards
something.
a carry.
He had them yards, but listen, he got a lot of them yards at the last drive when it didn't really matter. But before, when the game was, he only had 5 carries for 14 yards,
Mm-hmm.
and Singletary had 11 for 25. So up
Yeah.
to that point, until the last drive, pretty much Tannehill had more rushing yards than both our running backs combined. That last drive when what's his name went in there, the backup, doggone it,
For who?
Barkley went in. I mean, he was throwing it all over the place, and I mean, that don't really count.
Listen,
Statistically, if you look at it, it looks good for him, but
yeah,
it was like scrub stuff.
I love Diggs. He's on my fantasy team. Allen needs to start spreading the ball more. He did it towards
Yeah,
the second half. Cole Beasley started getting into the game.
Beasley
Uh,
started. Yeah, he was shut down the first half.
he wasn't even shut down. He was just not throwing to him. It's
Mm.
just you need to spread the ball more. I mean, I know he wants to keep Diggs happy, and Diggs has great hands. You throw it to Andre Roberts, it tips up, interception. Okay, now after that, you're like, man, I'm not going to throw back to this guy. And he
What's
did,
up with Knox?
and he had the great catch. Knox hasn't really been there. He had one catch, I think, right? Yeah,
He
one
dropped
catch.
a couple.
He dropped, I thought, one. I remember he threw it at him and he dropped it. I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah. Uh, he was targeted 3 times, so he dropped one. I know that. Anyway, it's just
Heck, even Diggs dropped one.
Yes. Yeah. And he threw, who was it behind? Was it Diggs he threw behind him also? He threw another play that
No,
was
Diggs. The one that he dropped was low, but it was a catchable ball.
Yeah, that one was catchable. He did throw another one behind somebody. I don't know if it was Knox or somebody
I
else,
think it
but
was Knox. It was Knox.
it was behind them.
And it got tipped also, and thank God there was no defender there because that would have been another probably pick six.
Yeah, no, it was just bad. My thing,
And overall, listen, there's no pluses on the offensive side. Josh was forcing the ball, drop passes, defensively no pass rush, no contain, and even special teams. I mean, that one boot Bajorquez kicked was 70, 71 yards, but it was a total net of 17 by the time they returned the ball. He was the one that actually made the tackle, which was a great tackle, by the way, to push the guy out of bounds. And what's his name? Bass almost missed another field goal because Bajorquez put the laces again in the front. So, I mean, all around they need work. All around they need work. All three phases of the ball. You know how you have a bad day at the office? Well, hopefully this was their bad day at the office and they run through it and they get it over with, because it felt to me like the game last year against Philadelphia where they got absolutely manhandled and I didn't even know what to do after that. I didn't even know what to expect. I was nervous for the rest of the season. At 5-1, then 5-2, I thought our season was going to go to the tank. So hopefully they brush it off. Hopefully McDermott gets them back into shape, gets them back into on the same page, and we get something going, because the next couple games are critical. And man, we could lose the next 3-4 out of 4 games if you don't really, get on point.
Yeah, right now we're looking at a mess. It's not looking too hot because we're going to go to Kansas City comes to us. All right, who knows what's going to happen? The big story is, hey, these two clowns, where are they? Bam! Are these two clowns going to have a throw off? Who knows?
I don't even care about that anymore.
It's like, okay, do they have a throw off? Honestly, I don't care, because God forbid he throws his shoulder out.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Matter. You don't even matter. Good things. Look,
you know what?
Hold on. I took this from NFL. Wait. Bam.
Go ahead.
Okay, Diggs, second in receiving yards. Okay, that's beautiful. Bam. Watch this. Allen, second behind Dak Prescott in total yards. Crazy. So it's like, bam, Dak is gone, so he's not going to be doing anything. So, you know what?
Yeah.
Titan game. They crapped the bed. I knew it was a tough game. They always play each other tough. It's usually a defensive game. The Bills just crapped the bed. They shot themselves in the foot over and over. It was bad. Nothing good at all from that game, except giving me a headache and getting me all angry.
Heartburn. I had heartburn.
Listen,
and one thing that bothered me also, real quick, before you move on from the Titans, is from Kansas City and Mahomes, was how AJ Philly was kind of comparing Mahomes. He's like, well, this kid is not Mahomes. It was just driving me bananas. Like, because there were certain things. I mean, there was a play that Josh was in the pocket. I think it's the one that he threw to T.J. Yeldon, that he actually stood there like he did in the Dallas game. And he kind of wound up sliding to the left with his hips. Really, it was a beautiful play. He was like, "Oh, that was a great play," but it's still not. He's still not Mahomes. That I mean, come on, man, really? I mean,
so one thing I think that's happening here, by the way, just to give you a heads up, I don't think we're really going anywhere right now. We might be, but I'm not sure because Bobby's having an issue with his page. So we got a challenge from Kurt and Kenny. Not so much Kurt from the K&K show, by the way. Saying that every time the Bills lose, we should do one of those hot, spicy chip challenges. And I told him that I was like, "Oh, hell no."
Pocky?
Yeah, because Kurt and Kenny had a little competition or whatever, a bet that if the Yankees lost to the Tampa Bay Rays, Kenny would eat it. So he lost, so he had to eat it. And he was dying supposedly. So he's trying to challenge us.
I can imagine.
I'm like, oh, hell no, that's not happening.
Now, listen, the way I'm going to tell, hey, Kurt, if he's listening, the way the Bills played this Titan game, I have no faith right now, man. I don't know about you, Will. If you want to take that challenge up, I'm always up for a good challenge. But after this game, you might as well get some a whole bunch of gallons of milk and stuff like that because we might be eating some chips.
I'm not good with those chips, or I'm not good with too spicy food anyway. All right, let's move on. My thing is they need to get a defensive tackle. I don't know. Listen, looking at this squad, all right, we're still winning. Do you want to go crazy? Probably not. Murphy needs to step up. Jerry Hughes needs to step up. If neither one of these two can step up, maybe you need to trade them. We're not getting a rush. Addison is the only guy really getting a rush for us. And it's driving
me. Trade deadline's the 29th of this month. So I'm pretty sure there's some stuff going on, some stuff that me and you haven't heard anything yet. But I got a feeling there's going to be some guys on the trade block, to be honest with you.
Let's see. I mean, the chemistry is there. You don't really want to blow it up, but some of these guys need to step up. I was going to say pick up a corner, but they went and got Pitts. I mean, another guy they might be able to look at is Javon Elliott, who was actually part of the Carolina Panthers, so it wouldn't be a big stretch if they did reach out to him. All right, let's get into this Bill-Kansas City game. We're at 47 minutes. All right, here we go. The Bills have played. What did he say? Haha. He's like, I heard you're on I-95 website. So we are going to the I-95 website. Thanks for everybody watching it. But we're not going out on YouTube right now, so it's kind of messing up the comments and some of the views. We'll resend it out to everybody later once I can. And Vinny can, so we'll send that. Bills and Chiefs, they've met 48 times, including 3 playoff games or postseason games. All right, this game is on Monday. It's actually at 5 o'clock. I think I'm off, so good thing I'll be able to watch it. The Bills lead the overall series 26-21 and 1 tie. And both of these teams are 4-1, as we both know. They lost to the Raiders last week. We lost to Tennessee. 1967 AFL Championship. Kansas City laid the whoop down on the Bills. The AFL, back in the AFL Championship before they merged with the NFL. Kansas City smacked us up 31-7. Then we jumped to 1992 AFC Divisional Playoff game. Kansas City 14, Buffalo 37. It was back in the day we were smacking people up back in those 90s. And the last time they met in the playoff game was a 1994 AFC Championship game. I remember that one. Kansas City 13, Buffalo 30. So we've got a good record against them in the playoffs, but it's been a long time since we met there, so it doesn't matter. We could throw our boy up here. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We'll just say it. Allen is the first QB in NFL history with 1,500 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, and 3 rushing touchdowns in the first 5 games of a season. So this guy keeps putting up some history while he's playing well. Needs to stop throwing those bad passes for these picks. So far, I think he has, 3 interceptions this year?
3 picks. 3 picks, yeah.
2 I would say aren't really his fault. The one that he threw to the freaking corner.
It was blatant. Yeah, that was blatant.
Yeah, the one last week with Croft, that was BS. It was
That
feeling
was,
miserable.
what-
And
man.
then
That's a whole show right there. That was horrible.
this guy Roberts or Johnson, whatever his name did, dropped it, tip ball. You could get share the blame there. So let's say he has 1.5 picks, but the record shows 3. Stop it. He takes care of the ball, which has been good. Let's see. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Bills. Now we drop per points per game. We're tied for 11th with 27.8. They're averaging 29.8, and they're tied for 8th. Points allowed per game, we've dropped to 21st, giving up 28.4 points. They're
That's
at
a lot.
22 points, and they're at 7th. Sacks, we're actually tied for 18th with 10. Surprised about that number. They're tied for 9th, so it's not a big difference with 13. So 3 is a big separation here. Turnovers, which is a problem. We're -2. They're
And
+5.
plus, yeah,
So they're taking this ball away from people. So he has to keep reading and playing smart and not get flustered, man. Some of the plays he does and he gets away with, he's not always going to get away with them. He needs to stop
yeah,
that crap. I mean, Kansas City, I didn't see their injury report. Here's ours. Actually, I didn't even see it. Like, was this week's or last week's? I think this might be. No, there you go. Zach Morris was full. Tre'Davious back. His back was limited. Quentin was full. Matt Milano, his pec. We know he's not going to play. Limited. Tyson Knox, I didn't know his calf did not practice. They pretty much said that was just more of a day of rest. I thought I saw. Good thing John Brown's full and Allen's full. So going into this game, like we said, they need a rush. I don't know who's going to step up. I mean, if I'm McDermott, I'm challenging this defensive line. He even said it. We have no rush. Where is the
yeah. We
rush?
have no rush.
And again, watching this game drives me crazy because you're watching them blitz and they run right into the blocker. Come
Yeah,
on, man. Where's
it's
the swim
crazy.
move? Where's the spins?
Nothing.
What's going on? It's like nothing. You're just running and trying to power rush. You guys, you're not all that. Some of you guys aren't that big to be power rushing some of these 300 plus
Yeah,
offensive linemen. Then their offensive tackle that drove me crazy too. I don't know, but this is more Leslie Frazier. He's hurt. Bad shoulder. Last game or 2 weeks ago was his, I think, left shoulder or right shoulder or vice versa. This game, the other one got hurt. Dude, I'm blitzing right at him.
yeah.
I'm going at him. He's hurt. I'm going
Yeah.
at him. Your corner gets hurt. You go after the second corner. You go pick on this guy. Didn't happen. It was just
By
bad.
the way, on the Kansas City injury report, I think Sammy Watkins hasn't practiced, so that's a good thing for us. I mean, I don't wish him bad, of course, but Sammy Watkins did not practice. Anthony Hitchkins, the linebacker, Kelechi Osemele did not practice. So those are 3 very important guys that didn't even practice this week. So more than likely, they'll probably be out. They have an extensive list, about 10 or 11 guys that are injured, but they're all full practice besides those 3 guys that I mentioned. So the most important one is Sammy Watkins.
But the thing is, they have depth, and now if they get Le'Veon
They
Bell,
have
I know
that.
he's not going to be there, but he could go out there and they could swing a little screen to him, a little quick
They got
slant.
Tyreek Hill, fastest
Yeah, we
guy.
got I tell you right now, if we don't have Trey White, we're playing
We in
zone.
trouble.
It's going to be trouble, like you
We're
said.
gonna be in trouble
I mean,
for
honestly,
sure, man.
the team is just nasty. They're good. You can't take anything away from them. Our defense needs to get to this kid. If they're not getting to him, we're going to get eaten up. It's going to be an ugly day for us.
You know who missed practice today though was Dawson Knox. He actually missed practice with a calf injury or something like that. He didn't even practice.
That was more of a relaxing day. I think I read or somewhere that they just gave him the day off. But hopefully it's not bad. But then you got Tyler Croft who stepped up, and if he's not hurt, it's pretty good. Wouldn't mind it. And Smith last week I think was a healthy scratch or something. I mean, I don't even really. I think we talked about it, even though we talked more about the Titan game. It's the same concept. If we can't slow this team down, we're in trouble. So
they look good. They look good.
If you want to keep,
they look good, man.
Yeah, if you want to keep this to an hour. Listen, the only thing is, the Raiders were able to stop them, and the Raiders aren't 100%. You know, they did get Ruggs back, which is great. I always say Kansas City's defense is a little suspect, but if you look at the numbers, they're close to ours. They have 3 more sacks than we do. What was it giving up
So
more?
so they're suspect, but they got better numbers than the Bills. So that what does
Yeah,
that tell you?
with the way our defense is being called is suspect. Okay,
Man,
you know, I
it's
mean,
insane.
points allowed. Right now, we're giving up way too many points. We're giving up
Yeah.
actually 6 more points than they are, almost 6 points. They're 2 field goals or a touchdown. You
Oh,
can't be doing that. I don't think their team is all that great. The problem, their offense is nasty. So it's going to be like a shootout. If the Bills could run the ball and contain the clock, that's what they need to do. If you're going to get into a shootout with this team, then
I
hopefully,
thought this week would be the week for the breakout for the running game. I swore up and down this was going to be the week that Singletary was going to have a breakout game.
the one good thing is, I'll tell you this, is that Zach Moss is healthy, supposedly. They
Okay,
post him, they changed him from questionable to healthy. So at least we're going to
good.
get some dose of him. There's going to be some hard running, which helps. You get the crafty Singletary and the hard hitting Zach. Hopefully that helps, but we need a defensive rush. And there, you can't even say these guys are tired. They're subbing them in and out all the time.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
get subbed a lot. Somebody needs to.
There's definitely guys that are taking plays off for sure. Absolutely.
Or they're just not. They're I don't know. They're just not beating. Who's our defensive lineman coach? We got a new one this year. I don't know what the hell's going on. This is driving me nuts. Watching no rush. You have all this talent, and we're not getting into them. Not getting to them. All right, let's look at these picks. Last week, I went 6 for 7, which was horrible. Denver, New England got postponed to this week. My parlay stunk. I actually hit. I always lose 3 game parlays. What have I missed? I had Baltimore, Seattle, Cleveland. Seattle didn't cover that one. If you just played it straight, you won. Rams, Pitt, Atlanta. I don't know why I believed in Atlanta. Bunch of scrubs. I went 6 or 7.
What'd you go?
Huh?
6 or 7? You went 6 or 7?
Bad.
Damn, I did straight up. I did pretty good. I won 9-4. So, what brings me to overall 54-21. And by the way, the coach you were talking about, was Eric Washington. That's who
Yeah.
it is. Yeah.
So I don't remember if he was there last year or what, but he needs to light a fire under these guys, or just bring somebody up from the practice squad and be like, hey, you're not working, you're not going to play. That's it. Let's move on. Let's get these picks because we're going to try to keep it here a little short. All right, we got Houston against Tennessee Titans. Titans are actually -3. The way the Titans play, holy cow, no reason why they shouldn't beat the Texans. I'm going to go with the Titans with all this rest they have, overcoming so much adversity. Maybe they could do it again.
Hey,
What?
the Titans are playing on a short week, though. They have a short week, so.
The last thing, too, is that they were all crying, oh, nobody gives us respect. Oh, nobody thought we would play. Come on, man. Nobody gave you respect because you guys were out practicing when the NFL told you not to.
Exactly.
That's why I give you no respect. Not because you're not a good team. Stop it.
Hey, I'm with you. Yeah, even though the Titans got a short week in comparison to the 16 days they have off, still gonna overcome that too. I got them winning. I got them beating the Texans 30-21.
All right, we got Cincinnati heading into Indy. Indy is actually a 7.5 point underdog. I mean, giving up 7.5 points against Cincinnati. Indy has one of the best defenses in the league. I didn't even know that. Phillip Rivers, to me, I don't know, man. I don't trust him. And I think if they lose this game, Phillip Rivers might get benched. The problem is they're paying him, I think, like $20 million. So do you sit a $20 million man? I don't know. But I don't know if they could cover 7.5. Cincinnati hasn't been playing all that bad, so I'm going to take Cincy getting 7.5.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what you think, even though Phillip Rivers had a bad game. Bengals got whooped by the Ravens pretty bad. So I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a little bit closer of a game. Phillip Rivers is going to bounce back. I got the Colts winning 2017.
All right. Let's see. Last time I looked, again, I go off of ESPN when I do this in the morning. Atlanta going into Minnesota, there was no line. I mean,
Mm.
Minnesota. Who did they upset last week? I forgot who it was. I'll check in a second. But I think I don't know why picking Atlanta again. Why I don't know. They have to win again a game sooner than later. Come on now. So I'm going to go with Atlanta. Who you got?
Oh shoot! Now I lost my notes real quick. No, I got the Vikings winning on this one, man. There's no way. I mean, Atlanta's a mess too, bro. So I don't know. I got the Vikings. They're both a mess, but I got Vikings 31-27. So
All right. So you got the Vikings. Now we got the team that both got postponed to this week. Denver heading into New England. Who knows if Gordon's going to play? They didn't say if he was playing or not. So New England's giving up 9.5. It's a
mm,
big stretch. The one good thing for them is Cam's back and Stephon Gilmore's back. Might be good. I'm still taking New England giving up 9.5. That's because Stephon and Cam is there. If they weren't there, I think I might take Denver to cover.
you'd have covered. Yeah,
Yeah.
that I thought this a game that was postponed because of the COVID.
Mm-hmm.
This game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shoot, man. With Cam Newton back, like you said, and Stephon Gilmore back, I can't see the Patriots losing. I got them 24-21.
All right. Oh, by the way, Vikings lost last week by a point to Seattle. Seattle came back with no time to win, and that's one
Mm.
of the ones that burnt me on my parlay. Moving on, Washington's going into the Giants. Giants are -2.5. I kind of want to pick Washington, but Giants have been somewhat competitive. Nothing
Yeah,
great. Either team is anything great. I actually think the Giants might win by a field goal, so I'm going to take Giants.
I'm with you, man. I think it's going to be a close one. I got Giants 21-17.
And I'm picking this because they hung with the Cowboys, even though the Cowboys' defense is nothing special. But I think the Giants might get their first win, and they might not be happy about it. Baltimore going into Philly. Baltimore is -7.5 right now. I mean, Baltimore is a beast. Philly's still banged up. I'm taking Baltimore -7.5.
Yeah, it's a good call. I got same call as you, man. I got them 27-21 beating the Eagles.
Cleveland headed into Pittsburgh division game. Cleveland's on fire lately. Pittsburgh's got one of the best defenses.
Man,
Just because of that, and I think they're coming off a bye, weren't they?
mm-hmm.
Sure. I think
Cleveland is what are they 4-1? They're
yeah,
quiet 4-1, ain't they?
they're 4-1 and they're 3-0 at home, but they're on the road. So I'm actually Steelers played last week and smacked up Philly. So Steelers are 4-0. I'm going with Pittsburgh -3.5 to smack up the Cleveland Browns, give them their second loss.
I think it's going to be a closer game. I like the way the Browns run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, from what I remember, they didn't. From what I looked up, they haven't won since 2003 in Pittsburgh. So,
Yeah.
I got the Steelers winning 27-24. I think it's going to be a close game though.
I didn't know that little stat. But Cleveland with Landry and Beckham, that's nasty. But anyway, moving on. Chicago is going down to Buffalo South. Well, actually, we're more of Carolina North lately. So they're going down to visit the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers are -1.5. I kind of like Carolina, but Chicago's a totally different team with Nick Foles. And Khalil Mack is going to run all over the place, probably tackle Teddy a bunch of times. So I'm going to take Chicago getting 1.5.
Yeah, that's going to be another tight one in my opinion. Teddy Bridgewater just keeps winning. I think the Panthers defense will be able to slow Foles a little bit, but I still got the Bears 27-24 in the tight one also.
All right, moving down. We got Detroit coming off the bye, going down to Jacksonville. Detroit's -3. I'm actually going to take Detroit with this one because they're coming off the bye. And I think Jacksonville got smacked up by somebody last week. Who was it? The Jaguars lost first time by the Houston Texans. So, yeah. So I think I'll take Detroit going down there.
Yeah, I got the Jaguars winning this one, man. They need to come up, man. They need to come up. They're just in a slump. The way they've been Lions been playing. I got the Jaguar. I'm gonna go on a limb and say Jaguars 24-17.
Damn. All right. The New York Jets are going down to Miami, to your area down south. Miami is for the first time they're favorites. I think in this head coaching's time period or career as a head coach over there, they're favorite 9.5 or giving up 9.5. So I think I'm going to take Miami giving up 9.5. I think they should win by at least 10. What do you
I
think?
think so, man. What a mess. I mean, well, I don't even know that with the departure with Bell leaving and it's just a mess over there. I would take that 9.5 if I were you because I think I got them. I got the Dolphins winning 27-17.
Wow. All right. Going down this game, kind of like Green Bay going to Tampa Bay. Green Bay's -1. They're coming off the bye. They're pretty banged up. I think they're still. This to me, I want to take Green Bay, but with the injuries they have, I think I'm going to go with Tampa, and they're home. So I'm going to go with Tampa, even though I like Green Bay. Hopefully, I'm wrong, but who you got?
Man, I like the Packers in this one, man. Even though, geez, it's Brady's Brady. I like the matchup. There's actually a game I'm looking forward to seeing.
Mhm.
Um, Jason Pierre-Paul is injured, but I think the Packers are going to pull this one off. They're both leading in the division, so I think I'm going to take the Packers 31-24.
Nice. One game here is Battle of the West Coast over there. The Los Angeles Rams are playing their division rival San Francisco 49ers. The Rams are -3.5, and I like the Rams. I'm taking the Rams minus the 3.5. Who do you like on this?
Yeah. The 49ers are a mess, man. They ain't looking too good with they bench Garoppolo. I know you. Is it you that don't like them? You say you don't
No, I
like them,
like.
right?
Oh, that was
Okay.
Jordan, the Jet
Okay.
fan.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. He got benched. It's things are getting a little chaotic over there. I got the Rams winning by 10, man, 31-21.
And there was a rumor that maybe San Fran was looking to try to trade for Matt Ryan. So who knows if that
Mm,
happened?
that's
That was a
interesting.
rumor. And after Atlanta's owner said, "We'll see about his future here."
Yeah.
So that's another thing. All right, we're
Mm,
moving on to Monday night. 2 games. Arizona's going into the Lone Star State. The Red Rifle gets his first start as a Dallas Cowboy. Arizona's -1.5 right now. And you know what? I think Andy Dalton is going to play better than Dak right now. I think he might light it up. They're saying Van der
yeah.
Bosch, their linebacker, might be back for this week. They're not sure. That would be a big elevation or help for that team. I actually am going to take Dallas at home to rally behind Dak's injury with the Red
I'm
Rifle.
with you, man.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
with you, man. The wide receivers are, man, they're pretty good. They always, when I see them, they're always open. That I think Andy's gonna have a good comeback career, if you will, on account of Dak. I'm prayers to Dak too, man. That was a horrible injury. I don't know if you saw what happened.
That
It was
was ugly.
just nasty, man. Wish him well. He just came out of surgery. He said, surgeries. He put like a video out saying he's doing pretty good. But I also got the Cowboys 27-24.
Yep. All right. Kansas City going into Buffalo. I'm surprised. Kansas City is only favorites by 3.5. So they're giving 3.5 to the Buffalo Bills. Everybody's going to kind of hate me right now. With the way the Bills played Tennessee last week, I'm sorry, but I'm looking at Kansas City. This is one of the
Mm.
games in the beginning of the year. I said they would probably lose. I didn't think they would lose to Tennessee because, the last 2 years we've been playing Tennessee and beating them. But I don't
Yeah,
know.
but a friend of mine texted me said we beat Titans last year because Ryan Tannehill came in the game after we beat him. So that was an excuse that they would tell, oh, you didn't beat him because Ryan Tannehill. And then I had to eat my words this week. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm saying that to whoever said that. Stop it, man. It's a different team with him. But anyway, that's why they paid him. Uh, I'm I'm wondering about our defense. If our defense shows up, we can win this game. If our defense doesn't show up, we're not winning this game. I'm picking Kansas City, giving up 3.5 to the Bills.
Yeah, as much as it pains me, I think I think I think McDermott and Frazier is going to light a fire in these guys this week, and I think they're going to bounce back just like they did against that Philly when they lost to Philly. They came back and won it the next 3 games, I believe it was. I think they're going to come back. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I got the Bills winning 31-27. We gonna talk about it next week. We'll see. If I win, you gotta eat that Pocky chip. You got a Pocky chip.
Are you just picking that because we're Bills fans?
No, man. I truly believe. I mean, I saw McDermott talk today. He talked today, and he gave a live conference, and it bothered him. He said he even lost sleep on the airplane because he's a defensive coach, and it just bothered the crap out of him. I think that's gonna roll over into practice, and then he's gonna light a fire in these guys. Like, hey, man, there's gonna be jobs on the line here. You know what I mean? The deadline's coming on the 29th. He probably, who knows what method he uses, but whatever he does, I think these guys are gonna come back with a chip on their shoulder, and they're playing the world champs, so that'll be a gauge on how they truly want to be this season. So I think they're gonna come out fired up. I think it's gonna be a shootout. And I got the Bills upsetting them 31-27, man. And I'm sticking to my story.
I hope you're right. I hope they do. I want them to. But the way our defensive rush has been, if they don't get that crap straightened, we're going to be in for another long day.
Long night. Yeah.
And be upset. Okay, buys this week. The Raiders have a bye. The Saints and Chargers and Seahawks are all on buys. As always, I'll give you my 3-game parlays. I got 2 of them. My first one is Tennessee, Baltimore, and Pittsburgh. And my other one is actually the Rams, Dallas, and KC. If you don't want to wait for Monday, I was thinking about playing the Rams, Dallas, and Chicago. So that's my picks. I guess we have to end it. We don't have Bobby with us today, so we don't even know if we're running over. Everybody, I'm going to post this. I'm going to download it now, actually. Post it on Facebook, and I hope I can post it on Facebook. I'll share it to you, and then we could share it to everybody else out there. Sorry for all the people who haven't seen us on Facebook, but hopefully you'll get it out there, and I'll put it on YouTube, also on Vivalosbills either today or tomorrow. Now, for the Atlanta Falcons, being that they shut their facilities down today, just go find yourself a college.
A high school. Hell, even a middle school.
Yeah, just go practice. Don't worry about it. As long as we're not all doing it together, you should be fine. Because
hey, you know what?
Just as worrying about your safety. Yeah,
Atlanta's gonna be another Cinderella team that overcame adversity. So you should have picked Atlanta this week. You should.
I did pick Atlanta. Did you? I picked Atlanta, but who knows? There's another game that might be in jeopardy or that might get pushed next Tuesday. Who the hell knows?
I think they're gonna overcome adversity, and then you might be right. They might win, but damn, I should have took that one. But I got the Vikings winning. But man, is there any time for me to change it? Can I change my pick? Nah, I'm just gonna run with it.
They should take Jay Feely and send him to Fox to do NFC to hear about him. All right, all that adversity of not practicing and stuff. Yeah, right. Get out of here. All right, Vinny, we gotta go. 113. Go Buffalo. Make me eat my words that Kansas City is going to win, and hopefully we'll have a beer next week. So, on that note, peace out, Vinny. Peace out, everybody.
Go Bills. Don't listen to Will. Go Bills. Bills are going to win this week.
I hope you're right.